Hey everybody, welcome back to Know Your Developers, and in this episode we will finish off our first group of EAD teams with EAD Group 5. Now, it's not as big as some of the previous EAD groups we've talked about, but if you like Fast Falcons, or Flying Foxes, or just getting into shape, this is a team you might want to take a look at. Tadashi Sugiyama, the head of EAD Group 5, has been with Nintendo since the early 80s. He started his career as a graphic designer on several early NES games including Baseball, Pinball, Clu Land, and Ice Climbers. After that, he would work on the oft-criticized, though severely underrated, Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link as the director of this weird sequel. It's interesting to note that Zelda 2 is the only time that Sugiyama touched the Zelda series. I wonder why. Pro tip, if you have some trouble enjoying Zelda 2, then try looking at it less as a Zelda sequel and more as the precursor of the modern Western RPG. Kinda changes the way you look at it. Trust me, it works. His next directorial role was on the Super Nintendo Mode 7 extravaganza, Pilot Wings, which launched alongside the SNES in 1990. Sugiyama was busy during the SNES era working on SimCity, Super Mario Kart, and Super Mario All-Stars. On the Nintendo 64, Sugiyama was the racing guru, working on the design of Mario Kart 64 and F-Zero X. He also worked on the F-Zero X Nintendo 64 DD expansion. When the GameCube and Game Boy Advance hit in 2001, Sugiyama worked primarily on the Mario Kart games for each system, in addition to design work on Luigi's Mansion. From 2003 to 2007, there's a bit of a gap in his resume, though I suspect he used that 4-year period to get used to his role as the new supervisor of EAD Group 5, along with developing the team's first major hit title, Wii Fit. From there, Sugiyama worked consistently on follow-ups, Wii Fit Plus and Wii Fit U, as well as producing Steel Diver Sub Wars, and Star Fox 64 3D. EAD Group 5 has been very silent for the past few years, and that does make you wonder if maybe they're working on something big and new, but at the same time, they're a group that has never really been all that busy. Most of their games are just Wii Fit, or some other small game that they work on with an outside developer. I mean, even Wii Fit U was co-developed by the developers of Pandora's Tower. Speaking of which, if you'd like to watch me play Pandora's Tower, you can click a link right here, but don't actually click that link right now, because we're in the middle of a video. Go back when this video is over, and then you can click the link. Hiroshi Matsunaga's origins with Nintendo lie primarily in motion capture and cinematics, as he worked on both 1080 snowboarding and Ocarina of Time. After working on the 64 disk drive project Mario Artist, which is apparently a game that pretty much everyone at EAD has worked on at some point. I feel like I've mentioned it in almost every video. Matsunaga went on to design characters and creatures for Super Mario Sunshine and Pikmin 2. After that, Matsunaga worked on his biggest project to date, as the director of Wii Fit. Since then, that's all he's been doing. Matsunaga has been the director of every Wii Fit game since it started. Takeya Imamura is essentially the guy that all of us Nintendo fans wish would just somehow take over Nintendo. Imamura's career began by working on the F-Zero and Star Fox series. See, you're already excited. I just mentioned 2 games and you're all like, what's he gonna talk about next? I knew exactly which 2 games you wanted to hear about. He's had a hand in every entry in each beloved yet dormant series, starting with F-Zero and Star Fox on the Super Nintendo, and continuing all the way until F-Zero GX on the GameCube, and Star Fox 64 on the 3DS. In addition, he was the director of the 3DS launch title Steel Diver, as well as the free-to-play follow-up, Steel Diver Sub Wars. Currently, Imamura is still working on updates for Sub Wars, but he's also likely working on something new in some capacity. Given his history, I'd wager he's working with Miyamoto on the Star Fox game for Wii U, even if it's only in a supervisory capacity. I think there's definitely a good chance that EAD Group 5 could be working on the new Star Fox game for Wii U. They haven't done anything in a while, and several of their higher-ups have a history with the series, going all the way up to its most recent entry. We also know that EAD Group 5 has a history of working with other developers, and we already know that Nintendo might be working with another developer on the production of Star Fox for Wii U. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Know Your Developers. If you haven't seen the whole series, you can check out this link right here. That's a playlist with all the episodes. As usual, this episode was co-written by Neil Ronahan. He does all the research, the hard stuff. I just sit here and look pretty and talk at your face. You can watch more of him over at Nintendo News Report. Right there, I put a playlist, so you can click on that stuff. And if you want to see more of me, even more of me, that you can get on this channel, then you can head over to my channel right here, watch me play some games, watch me vlog, get your face, other stuff like that. It'll be a good time, we'll get to know each other, it'll be fun. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to Nintendo World Report TV, and check out NintendoWorldReport.com for even more incredible Nintendo coverage, the kind of stuff that just makes you weep with how awesome it is. Once again, my name's John Raridan, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you soon with even more episodes of Know Your Developer.